Good morning, YouTubers. This is, I ain't been awake very long. This is, for everybody, I guess, to watch, but mainly I'm gonna try and get this to, Pimpy's Investments. Okay. Let's start with a brief history of me, Pimpy. Okay. I want to be in this fight as well as you. Okay. And, for whatever I could do from my perch here in West Virginia, um, I will set out and try to write some letters. I'm not the most eloquent or not the best speller. You made comments to some of my comments on your pages. I'm 53 years old. I spent a lifetime trying to get somewhere, and that was a master plumber. Well, within 2 weeks of me actually taking my first test, I was kind of proud of myself because most master plumbers in Virginia or anywhere in the United States, they tell you Virginia is one of the hardest to pass. And I knowed master plumbers for almost 15 years that had taken that test 7 and 8 different times just to pass it. And there was only 2 tests that you could take. My first time ever taking it, I actually failed about 10 points. That's how close I come. Okay. To start with, there's more than 2 factions that's dividing this country and us. Okay. I'm trying to put this in a manner to where I can lay the facts out, okay, from my perspective, my opinion, like everybody's got an asshole, okay, for what you showed this morning and having an understanding of our rights. That's fine and dandy. But 5, 6 years ago, I was on another path, okay, to some things that would leave you scratching your head. And it's still, yet to this day, I scratch my head and the results that I've seen. Okay. Bringing up these facts that you do, that's wonderful. Okay. To start with, too, also to let you know, I thank you for putting my head in the right direction when it comes to the financing and me buying silver. Um, I'm real close to 100 ounces now, and hopefully have 150 to 200 ounces before everything starts going in a positive direction for all of us. The outlook that I'm speaking of with you today, and the only thing I can do is just take it to your channel and leave it as comment. That's going to be up to you if you watch it, listen to it. Okay. No offense to nobody, but here's how I see most of our world when it comes to educated people. They all have certain traits, mainly, in common. One's $1,000 smile, a $10,000 suit, and a $100,000 rag hanging on the wall. I have rags hanging on a roll that I use every day, and it works. Most of these rags that these people's got that's hanging on their friggin' wall that's supposed to make them smarter than us, I find really retarded when it took a group of individual farmers, okay, but knew their own soul, knew their own limitations. Our forefathers understood that they was just as evil as they was good. I know that by the way they constructed our Constitution and everything else that they set forth and done. Being also, I know that the Constitution is a foundation stone, okay, in law. They can't go back and destroy it, no matter what they've tried, okay? It's like the gun situation. It finally dawned on me how they keep bringing up the guns, okay? Being our forefathers was not soothsayers or psychics. They had no clue, okay, that technology would get this good, okay? They had an understanding that would happen because we're men. And part of being the pursuit of happiness is also the pursuit of doing greater things and making better things. Okay, that's how they keep going after our guns. Because the way it was constructed at the time, there needs to be some amendments put in our Second Amendment also. And yes, there's a bunch of it that needs to be amended and put in concrete boundaries to where nobody could touch them ever again or go against them ever again. Understand this. Okay. Forgive me my sleepiness, and I can't really think right now. But anyway, I'm jumping around in my story. Years I spent, okay. I've got a half telecommunications and electronics degree, associates. Okay, got my GED in Cheyenne, Wyoming while I was hitchhiking through the United States. Okay, I was taking college classes before I even got my damn high school diploma, my GED. Still took college classes and my plumbing classes, all different types and degrees. Was told years, way before I even started into plumbing, that I'd never be able to do it or accomplish it because I didn't have the math skills. That was Keystone, Pennsylvania Job Corps. Okay? I beat all them odds. When they told me I couldn't, I did. Time and time and time and time again. Then, like I said, my 2 weeks, right before everything was supposed to be moving in the direction that I wanted to go in, I laid in the hospital room with open heart surgery. Okay? And I still smoke like an idiot. Okay. I laid there in the hospital room and my ex brought me my mail. Okay. All from the company I was working for. They had gave me a $2 raise. They had put me in foreman's classes. They had gave me my own crew. I'd made it. But my heart gave out before I got there. Now, I sat in this zone here in my house. Okay, I had a house in Virginia. Chase Manhattan ripped that out from under me by screwing up chain of title to the contract that I signed. And that's what it is. Okay. Now, to say this, I don't know if you're aware. Okay, I know you're aware of the act of the 1870s or the 1780s. I can't, my mind's not functioning well right now because I ain't been up but about 20 minutes. Or I ain't had time to go through and do the research that I needed. Okay, this division that you speak of, the two-party system. Yeah, that is only one of thousands. If you, I know you've seen the haves and have-nots, the football, two-party, basketball, two-party, baseball, two-party. There's very few competing factors here, okay? And if you notice in time, the first ones that I spoke of was the first ones to be put out to us. Later on, the NASCAR, drag racing, two-party. Black, white, two-party. Okay, everything's a great divide here in this damn country. But see, that's what supposedly makes us great. But at the same time, we have this thing, and it's called trust. Then in this trust that we carry evident with every one of us and use on a day-to-day basis. But at the same time, the elite, the demonic, also knows this. Just like you said, they're using the Constitution against us. Well, what's Satan do with the Bible? And against God's people? Same thing. This has been going on for thousands of years. Okay. Back to the Act of 1870 or 1780s. Okay, our Constitution got shipped. Okay, 5-6 years ago, like I said, I was on another path. I'll go through it briefly a little bit too, but I also found out some things. And you can go see for yourself if they went and took it out of there, okay? Because my understanding, little old Santa Serpent, you go back and some of her older posts, of course, she's speaking of businesses in Delaware and some other things. There was 1 month it was this way, next month it was that way, okay? They're running around hiding the evidence of what they've done, okay? Because a lot of us out here a long time ago started digging into other things. Okay, you're smart, you've been in business, you've been around business people. What is the reason for the United States government, okay, to patent the name the United States government or government of the United States? I've seen it with my own eyes, maybe. Now, whether it's still there or not, I do not know. Because of the path I was on at the time. Watched a court case. Trump was brought up in this court case. This is right before he started running and right before he got into office. All right. I watched a man and a woman, matter of fact, two couples, go to prison for using their birth name and their social security number to access, okay, believe it or not, I don't care, you can go look for yourself. Okay, this is the things that's being left out. They accessed a banking account in their birth name with their social security number. They went to prison for that. Now, being that we supposedly know that the birth certificate, okay, we know there's a such thing as a birth certificate and a certificate of birth. Okay, you can say, you can scratch your head, well, you're a 10-4, this ain't got nothing to do. Yes, it does. It's got everything to do with it. Being that they lay themselves under a different constitution that has been given to us, and foolishly we have followed for, I don't know, 5-6 generations or better. It's been shelved. Their constitution looks so much like ours. The little words. See, I started finding out about that too. The Four Corners Law. All the bullshit. The little magic spells on a piece of paper. That's all this crap is. It's all words. Okay? There's never a standing until there's action. But anyway, Randall L. Bean was one of the fellows that went to prison. He jumped the gun. There was another lady involved. Her name was Heather Ann Tucci. I know I'm not probably saying it right. She was supposedly the law and the brains behind what was going on. She seen the bankruptcy was up over, way up in $9 quadrillion was laying there. Okay, pinned to you, me, the whole United States. Can't help it if you don't believe it. Well, the documents you speak of, the Garcia, that's where the money's coming from. Okay. She also got arrested in D.C. the day of she was supposed to meet with Trump. I'm not trying to drag your brain in a different direction, but it all does this if you take the time to look at it. Heather Ann Tucci, Randall L. Bean, and there was another couple right after that. Okay, Knox County, Tennessee, of all damn places. Randall went and accessed that account. He transferred $600,000 from that account that was in his birth name and his social security number to another account. Went and bought him a $600,000 tour bus. Go look it up. If they haven't scrubbed the net, it's there. Supposedly, Heather's somewhere in California, my understanding. Nobody can get to her to ask her any questions. It sounds like an NDAA to me. Okay, here we go. A bunch of words on a piece of paper. The only way that they're actionable at all, or if we honor the word as an action. I've gave this scenario to 1,000 people. You take you a blank piece of notebook paper, big red letters, three red letters, LAW. Lay it down somewhere in your house, walk by it all day long. Then come to me the following day and tell me how that LAW on that piece of paper jumped up, smacked you, or cussed you. It don't. Okay. The thing they're not telling us, and I think maybe it got changed the 4th of July. Don't know for sure. This hit me funny, and a lot of people overlooking this big time. Melania, Trump's wife, put out a tweet. Said that she couldn't wait to get back to the White House to see her husband, SCOTUS, sign the Constitution. Now, can you explain to me somehow or another this has been something that happens every 4th or every new president? And what Constitution did he sign? Number 2, see, I realized 7, 8 years ago when I went on this hunt that what was being thrown at me 99% of the time was real, but there was always something around behind it. If you pulled it out of the way, you started seeing other things. This is the things that I dig for. I see, okay? There's an individual on the internet as ex-military. And if I can remember his name in this conversation, I will give it to you. But I've been watching him off and on for a very long time. Like I said, I think I said ex-military. Okay. This guy's not stupid. Period. The laws, the rules, the regulations. He sat and watched the swearing in of Trump. If I'm not mistaken, wasn't it John Roberts that done this? I could be wrong. Like I said, I've got my memory hole was shot due to my heart. Okay, if you know anything about low blood flow, okay, it interferes with things. And one is the flow of blood to my brain. Okay, the swearing in ceremony. He said and listened to it. Then he went and looked the actual laws up in the Constitution on what and how it's supposed to be followed. Well, it wasn't followed. You go dig this up for yourself. This will make you want to scratch your head again. What's going on? Like I said, I push back the veil of truth with all the bullshit and look for the stuff behind the scenes that everybody's overlooking. Because that's what intrigues me. To see things that don't quite match up with the so-called veil of truth. Okay? I've not got nothing against Trump. I think the man is the best thing since peanut butter. And only thing that's ever been a real president in my lifetime. Other than the one that got assassinated. We won't go into that one. Because there's a bunch of bullshit in there too. But like I said, we've got way more than just two parties separating our minds and our lives. It deals with our wallets. It deals with our kids. It deals with their social interaction with a bunch of idiots. Okay? Teachers, doctors, lawyers. And I've mentioned this to you before. Okay? There's this thing called the Four Hidden Dynasties. A little teacher out of Arkansas named Brother Murray. I know you've got your own track in mind when it comes to what you think God and religion is, which is fine because it sounds like you've got a good relationship. Okay? There's many paths to that relationship. He didn't block all of them off like they do in these churches and put them up on a pedestal and say that's the only way. You got to look a certain way. You got to smell a certain way. You got to dress a certain way. You got to have so much money. Blah, 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 blah. None of that. Jesus Christ hung out with the dregs of society. He knew that the Sadducees and the Pharisees were a bunch of jokes. They had it figured out. He even told them, why do you need me or my Father when y'all have it figured out? So he went and hung out with the homeless people. He went and hung out with the broke, poor people. Because these was the people that was going to make the damn changes in the correct manner because of what they've been through. Just like us right now. Okay? Now we're dealing with, I don't know, how old is the United States? 260 some years old? Sit there in your chair, get on your computer. Just in the state that you live in alone, California, look up public libraries. Just see how many there is. Write it down on a piece of paper. Alright, next one to look up is law libraries. See how many there are. Okay? Once you get a range and a total put together, we got that many years just in your state alone of bullshit. Case law, stuff that's won and lost. Okay? But 99% of them is statutes and codes. They're not laws. I know this by talking to attorneys. Okay? They told me straight up, no. They're representations of the law. They're not a law. Okay? The society's done broke us down so bad that for us to stand on our morals and our 2 feet again and move forward in all this crap, okay, we have to go back to the foundational stones of our law because they can't take them down because if you yank the foundation out from under your house, what happens to your house? Same thing with their bullshit laws. Okay? They know this as well as we do. But see, what they're not willing to tell you or me, okay, and this has come to me by people that has been in and around these people. There's a public forum, a session, known as a swearing-in ceremony. And all these so-called righteous ways of living and being is what they're swore in as under. But there's also another ceremony, either before or after that one, that they speak not of. Believe me or not, it ain't up to me to shove truth down nobody's throat. And I'm not a fear monger or a fear porn person. Truth is the only way forward anyway. I even had my cardiologist tell me this, with my ex standing in a damn hallway running her mouth. One of my best things in my life was to get rid of my drama in my life. Quit walking on eggshells. I am a one-way person. Don't have time to bullshit nobody. Never have. Well, up until that point, I understood what he meant. Up until that point, yeah, run around just like everybody else acting stupid. But when he laid it out for me in such manners and then gave me the example of my ex standing after I run her mouth, it hit me like a ton of bricks. It wasn't long after that, her ass hit the highway. Almost 18 years of it. So yeah, we can change. But no, there's way more than just Republican and Democrat dividing this situation. Look at all the people that's tuned out. Look at all the people that's half in, half out riding that fence. Satan owns that fence. This ain't something that we can't win. I know that. But we got to have an understanding. We got way more division in all this than just two parties. Because these two parties created 5 more in every one of them's household, in every one of them's day of life, being who they're connected to. And I just love these people to run around and holler, money is the root of all evil. No, it's not. It's the people who use the money that is the root of that money's evil. And how they use it. I had that explained to me in my late 30s, and I wish somebody would explain it to me when I was in my early 20s. Used in the correct way, it's a wonderful thing. Used in the wrong way, it's an awful thing. You know what comes with bad judgment on money? These things that we want to stand upon. I've sat here, took a piece of paper, somebody showed me something years back, and I've been trying to figure this out for myself. People have an understanding on who they are, but if they don't use what the forefathers laid out and intended for them, because they twist and turn words all the time. Like the word if. Little bitty word, great, big, huge fucking meaning on how many ways you can use it. I wonder why the United States language got so bastardized. I've listened to people come over here that's, when I was in San Diego, listen to people talk about how hard American language was when one word may mean 3 things. They done that purposely. And for us to actually go back under a righteous set of words, okay, we had to figure out ways of getting around these idiots, okay, because their scenario is like the 5-year-old with the big red sucker. You allow that 5-year-old to suck on that sucker for about 10 minutes, then go try to take it. Don't work out well. Constitution, rule of law. Who is using these things? Us? Or do you maybe think the upper class, our so-called court systems? We all, I mean, at least I do. I understand that the court system is another word for bank. That's all it is. More and more ways to rob the people's pockets. If you go fall back under the actual rules and regulations of a constitutional way of doing things, it falls back under the common law. Okay? And no bodily injury or hurting anybody or destroying people's properties. There ain't a whole lot you can go to jail for. But look at all these codes and statutes. I wrote down Trump in the center. Waking up. Here's you another weird statistic. Who out there that you know of, okay, is keeping up with the awaking population of the awake people? So if there is not an individual or a team that's keeping up with the numbers of us waking up to what's going on, okay, when's enough? 75 million people voted for Trump, and that's not enough. 300 and some million, I think they say, it's in the United States. Now, you're going to say just a Democrat and Republican party is dividing that many people? Is that power that great? No, it's not. We've had a lot of smart people throughout the years watching us, studying us, knowing how to manipulate us because they was humans too. I read a book, and it was the book that taught you the basics of psychiatry and how things worked to prove their science. Okay, one experiment I read in the book has stayed with me ever since, and it's been almost 20 years. And you can go try it yourself. And I suggest everybody to try it themselves. Walk in a grocery store, any crowded place. Grab your cart. As soon as you walk in the store, you look up. And you keep your eyes trained up, okay, for about 5-10 minutes, okay? You can still do your grocery shopping or doing whatever you're doing, but every time you look down, you put your stuff in your grocery cart, look back up, okay? Then study while you got your head down, putting your stuff in your grocery cart. How many people's following your lead? That's how damn easily it is to manipulate everybody. Now, in this book, it also said that the ones that went out of their way to come and question what you were looking at, them are bright intellects and intelligence showing through because they took the time to find out why. They took that away from a lot of people. And they don't even know it's even happening. You tell most people that they're programmed because of the television and all the other bullshit that comes with it. No, I'm not. Then I love catching these people that want to run their mouth. Oh, that's some kind of conspiracy theory. Then you look at them straight in the face and be as kind as you can be about it. So, well, I want to ask you something. The word conspiracy theory, where did it come from? Who invented it? And who encapsulated it? And for what purpose? See what you get. At least 98% of the population could not tell you anything about that. But see how bad that implanted throughout the last 10 generations. We're mimickers of good. We're mimickers of bad. Okay? And like I said, we all have our own spiritual ways of looking at things and going through things. Your little bird thing, and I got a belly laugh out of you when you thought that somehow or another you're on a spiritual path with God. And I'm not kicking you in the nuts. you're on a spiritual path with God, and you know by your presence around you when you're being spoken to and you're getting what you're asking for answered, but you couldn't see God talking to you in your dream, you do understand He created you, right, Pimpy? Not trying to kick you in the nuts about nothing. But I got a big belly laugh out of that. Not trying to be mean to you at all, because you are on the right path. You are trying to be what God intended you to be. Okay? But I'm also letting you know that there's some little things in our so-called history that's not being totally told to you, you not put together yet. I'm nobody special, but for whatever reason, I've seen it and understand it, just like the cases in Tennessee. That man and woman, and well, them two couples, okay, the other couple didn't get as much traction because the FBI didn't grab them up and send them to prison for using their own damn name and social security number. Then I watched another case there in California, okay, from an individual beat a federal ticket by not complying his name. So there is hidden shit going on in our Justice Department, from the lower levels to the higher. And this manipulation of words, and that's all this is, has been they have the right to give accordance to a word and definition, but we do not. And I'm probably not using the correct terminology, but I think you get my point. Okay? Black's Law. Well, that law's no, them law books ain't being used no more. No, not since they've been incorporated into their bullshit already. But these law books are being made every year, all volumes. So for something that don't have no significant value and it's not being used, why is it being made? Like I said, I tried sitting here, put Trump in the center, 3 arrows, good and bad, and Trump in the middle. Okay, the awakening up, the black laws. Under fraud alone in the black laws, I think I found 30 or 40 different pages that constitute under all different types of fraud. Okay. The good, we got Q. Okay. First 100 days, what Trump done? Less taxes, less people on food stamps. Let's see. The truth is how we know. He's trying to show us and lead us in a direction, but we done had our brains knocked out for the last 10 generations and we have no damn clue. Okay? Well, we do, because a lot of what truth is understanding, running it through this, and our gut finally tells us yes or no. The discerning spirit. Okay. The people's hands put back our constitutions, by the way. The bads. No way to see proof. Everybody says Gitmo's full. How we prove it? How much proof do we need to take them down? My understanding, there's a fucking room plumb full, some damn more, plumb full of proof. Okay, but see, what they're not telling us, Pimpy, is The assholes on the opposite side, the ignorant and the mean and the evil, they use these law books too. And they know how to manipulate them because they've had almost 260 years to fuck them. Let's see. Let's go to the vaccine real quick. First person to see take a woman, nurse, Tennessee. 17 minutes later, she passes out. Then I see other so-called health professionals taking this shot. Dude, there wasn't nothing fucking in the needle, period. Okay. Then I heard another individual in California that said that somebody smarter than him told him that there wasn't this much of the, there was some other way that they was putting something in us to kill the COVID, okay? Some other long outdraw bullshit, okay? There wasn't nothing in these needles. Watch Pence and a few of the others get their fucking shot, and there was a bunch of shit in that needle. Right in her fucking face, right in her eyes, man. Huh. Some bullshit. Some more bullshit. The scry that we look into every day. And I know you understand what the scry is, because I don't know if I'm pronouncing it correct. Dems, Republicans, judges, cops, all leaders have been corrupt and is corrupt. Is right as of now. There's very few people. Let's see, that's another thing too. That's a division. You need so many righteous people to make something look righteous, while the unrighteous go around doing whatever they want to. It's like I found out some years back, hit me like a ton of bricks. To make a good lie stand and have teeth and have meaning, it needs a little bit of truth. It also allows them and grants them that when truth is fully found out about the lie, that little bit of truth is something they can twist, turn, and go in another direction with the same lie. Let's see, truth don't need a lie to exist, but the lie does. Anyway, I'm gonna get off here. And anyway, like I said, there's an individual I've been studying for quite a while, Ryder. Okay, ex-military, been digging into legal books for years. Okay, a lot of his stuff's long and drawn out. Like I said, he even shows the swearing-in ceremony in our Constitution, and it was not followed. And there's some other things like the Texas lawsuit. The judges knew that there was no standing by the way it was recorded and given to them. I think maybe that may have been a trap through Trump, just to see what Roberts and them fucking head idiots was going to do. Okay? They didn't try to correct it in a manner to bring the people in that wrote the lawsuit, to have them an understanding that you're going to have to do certain things. Well, Texas has been up and down ever since it was created, once you dig into their Constitution. But anyway, y'all, and Pimpy, like I said, I'm not trying to be no prick, but I know you don't really foresee that there's only a good and a bad, a Democrat or a Republican. There's way more dividing us, way more. And they've had many, many years to perfect it, because it took another man to study himself to have an understanding on how to manipulate the other people that was around him by the higher education. And like I said, I hope you get a chance. It's a little spiritual journey from a teacher, not a preacher, Brother Murray there in Arkansas, the 4 hidden dynasties. Education. political, financial, and the glue that holds them together is the religious system. Peace, brother, and thank you.